All right. Good morning. I'm running late this morning for various reasons, although I did use my best efforts to get here on time. The morning just kind of slipped away for a few different reasons, but that's unimportant. I had a good meditating session, and I understand that I can't force emotional alignment. It's either there or it's not. So I'm choosing for it to be there, and not to let being a little bit late stress me out or make me feel unprepared. I still feel prepared because I don't have to search through stocks. I just read the S&P. I put in the time to create my own plans this morning, which did not align with John's. I was expecting a drive higher or a break of this location and a push lower. So we got this multi-day balance. Since the breakout, the highest volume is right here at 83. We also have a high volume node at 94 in the higher time frame. Yesterday, the market tested down, missed the prior high of day, which was the breakout day, by 3 ticks, and reversed to push higher. Yesterday's high of day is at 97. So the market opened and immediately drove through 4,900 and had a pretty much uncontested drive higher throughout the night, testing into this stock zone with healthy range, and it's a multi-distribution profile. So what we've seen lately is an open with a lot of chop, with like 12-point ranges on IBs and whatnot. So it's important not to blow my load this morning. Trying to align for a directional move if the market is choppy for the first half hour of the day. So today is the type of day to pay attention to context, because the higher time frame is a drive upwards, very clear drive, but that doesn't mean that within the developing intraday time frame we can't find short-term or intermediate-term balance. So that being said, I'm going to read this scenario from John because I think it's really important, because it's not something that immediately comes to my mind. What immediately comes to my mind is driving behavior. And I need to work on my inside-out mentality and mean reversion mentality for when the market changes from driving behavior to balanced behavior. I want to be the master of that context. So I'm going to put in the effort right now to make sure I have a full understanding of what that may look like. Scenario 1, choppy balance at higher prices following the overnight repricing. Just as it sounds, we've gotten this a lot lately. This would be a trade that opens in a gap and either leaves the gap open or perhaps tests and quickly rejects, regardless of which, the primary expectation with this type of action would be mostly chop within the overnight range, at least early. Gap mid and potentially the 07.25 stock zone would be the over-under line for the overnight stat. However, if this is the kind of action we get, often we get an open near overnight high that negates the overnight stat as a target. The ideal trade in this environment, if we get one, would be an open that responds lower, probably grinds through the early part of the IB, then potentially gives a tradable impulse higher for IB and maybe on. Secondary possibility would be if the market is sticking to the highs ahead of DGPs, but gives occasional pullbacks for a reference that is clearly holding, i.e. FS or eventually RTH VWAP. Alternatively, if the energy during the day is just low, this could also just be a very balanced trade within the overnight range, accepting higher prices. This is a valid possibility and would likely be a hands-off situation for me. So we're longs only this morning. but we're looking to see if there is balance. Now, what I would like to do is point out that the overnight volume point of control is sitting at 14. Naked volume point of control is sitting at 12.75. We have FS levels on top of this location as well. And we have an LVN at 11.5. Here is alignment. So, if we get a grind lower in somewhat of a balanced trade, we're going to look for tests of these locations and potential holds to go long. And the market could potentially test into this area, which is the over-under for higher. Alternatively, if we get driving behavior, we're going to know. We're going to see, okay, this is driving. But it's subject to change. So if it drives and I happen to not be able to catch it, wait for a proper setup for entry and do not FOMO into trade. Quickly, we're going to go over yesterday. I took 3 trades yesterday, 2 winners and 1 loss. I did really pretty decent with the choppy behavior. We got a test of 90 and a rejection. We had lower on the table for a test of the prior low a day. So rejection higher, test lower, chop 87 outside edge. I take 1 short VWAP to VPOC. It doesn't work. I take another short on a migration with my stop above the outside edge. I get scaled. I miss a few times on potential entries. And then we get the selling. I miss a trade for inside out when the VPOC migrates. This is a setup because it's an intraday rejection. And we have lower on the table for stats. So put the pieces of the puzzle together. Align with statistics and context. So this is a trade that I missed. But with a little bit of assistance from Tom, I used this 82-83 zone as resistance to get short, and then I catch target. Yeah, so I did a good job understanding balance yesterday, and I want to continue to do that today. If all the DGPs are on top of each other, I'm anticipating outside edges. Inability to integrate multiple fractals to make a well-informed decision at the open. Yeah, well, I am watching the higher time frame this morning. I know where the higher time frame levels are, so good job at noticing that this is something I've been struggling with. Yeah, so taking losses within the first 10 minutes of the day is starting to piss me off because I'm taking a lot of losses, but I don't want to give up trading the first 10 minutes of the day because I know that it could offer really good opportunities. So I just need to become more proficient at it. So this is a goal that from last night that I'm already integrating this morning. Get to my desk by 8. Yeah, that needs to happen. Too much going on. Enough range to scale. This is something I didn't even think about today. I need to have at least 2.5 points for me to be able to scale. And if I don't have that, then there's no trade. That's pretty easy. Okay, I still have a few minutes to watch FT now. So I'll be back. Okay. So FT had the same idea as me, which was the main play is a potential test into the VWAP. And if it holds, then we're looking for a long. So 14-15 area, overnight volume point of control. And if we start to fail underneath 12, then we look for a short for a gap fill. Oh, wow. Okay, that is the plan of the morning. Overnight high, liquidity, and migration. Overnight high stat not achieved yet. We're going to let this play out because we're not fading this gap. That's just the way it goes. I remember when I did this once. I watched the video and I faded the gap on a short and I got wrecked. $19. Responsive selling as anticipated. Testing that low. Putting in a lot of volume at 20. Potential migration. Let's see how the market responds to this migration. It's pressing on the low. And it decides to go lower. We're looking for that 14, 15 overnight volume point of control. Testing, still orderly and somewhat balanced right now. Developing an LVN here. Potential check. Excuse me. Slight migration lower. Test lower. VPOC still moving lower. Buyers. Tom said be aware. Not sure exactly what that means. Here's a test to the outside edge of that profile. We have naked volume, point of control below, etc. All right, I gotta go to the bathroom. furry best friend, my furry little friend. I love you. I love you. I love you. Well, nothing changed. Can't trade in that condition. PMI in 5 minutes. VWAP migrates down and back up. Liquidity steps in. I'm sitting on hands until this news comes out. Going long here would be a mistake. We're two-sided. If we do reach 14.15 and see support, that's something I'm willing to get long before news for in the attempt to scale. If I don't scale, I'll bail on it. Boneless wings, man. A little bit rough. Migration lower. That's a T-Lab short, but not in this context. Upon PMI news, maybe we'll sweep down into 12-ish. Okay, that's the first of the news. That was a high volume node from the overnight session right there. Near miss of FSVWAP at 16. We do see a structure break here. Coming back down. Here comes news in 35 seconds. Test into 15. A little bit of volume down here. Volume here. Test upwards. We did not reach the overnight volume point of control. We got to 15. Very balanced. Here's a retest. FSVWAP at 16. Structure broken. Liquidity stepping in. Potential for this to hold. Liquidity steps in below as well. Liquidity ain't moving. A little bit of structure. Selling structure. I'm weary. Although we are balanced, so maybe. Here's another test of 16. Still a lot of volatility in here. I have no idea what's going to happen here. Seeing some buyers. Big battle here. Kind of getting filled in. Looks like it's choosing up. And it did. That's a decent sweep. I'll anticipate maybe a continuation. Here's the auction for the immediate volume. Sellers coming in. Testing towards the low. The low on MES is at 14. So there's a kind of a discrepancy going on. I'm just going to actuate according to MES. One tick of the low here. I don't know. We still have we still have this below. I don't want to do it. We saw pretty decent selling. No stops here. It just really feels like it's trying to get there. Let's see if this was a failed auction or not. We are back down here after a test, so if we got up today and saw how the market was up, I would be taking some profit down to 16. What do I know? Says Patrick. Some liquidity stepping in. This is an area of indecision. Just a test of the low. We're on the other side of this. So there's stops underneath there into this area. We want to observe behavior on a test of 14. This area is being auctioned fairly. Bomber. See if they get rewarded. It's another opportunity to take it. Does it take it? This still held. Potentially a migration to this area. Can't see what's holding it up through this order flow, which has been something that kind of always confuses me. Like, where are these orders coming from? Are they institutional or is it just regular? Tom says gap fill possible, not a wreck. We're holding this 17. We're stuck between here and here. IB 30 stat is coming. We're able to break this. Now to test this. Decently important location. Yes, potentially need to see a flush to clear all longs. If we do get that, we may quickly recover to the overnight high. Else, if we get that and paper is out, is taking profits, we may continue for gap close. Looks like a short, but what do I know? If we get a migration to this location, I would take a short. We got a migration on the MES. If we get a migration here for a structured short, then I will take it. Maybe we won't get it before it comes down, or maybe it will base here and move upwards. Liquidity stepping in there. IB30 stat. ES responsive back to 4915 as expected and sitting at this price with a weak low. Tick velocity is decent, but price discovery is very sluggish. Liquidity. I'm anticipating this is going to go, but will we get an opportunity to enter? This is where the work gets done over a large sample size. On tight range days, you will not do as well as a shorter term management process. That is why you need a large sample size. More advanced would be adjusting plan for mean reversion versus today. Here's another test of this weak area. We have volume all the way in here. No sellers down here. Here's maybe another chance for a migration. Back down at this low. If we break this, then maybe it'll just really push. There's a test of overnight volume point of control. We're looking to see if it holds below 12. Liquidity stepping in. So what's going to happen from here? If we start breaking lower out of this location, then we could be on a short for continuation. Here's a test of the overnight volume point of control.
$834 sell stop.
Wow. T-Lab structured trading. That's what Tom says. Composite high volume node. And we're going for that gap fill. We got previous high day here, century here. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Still microstructure to the downside here. Here's another test into 12. Overnight stat. 4,900. Previous high day is right here. So we're front rushing that. Test this. So this is too high. Test this. Too low. Test this. Too high for right now. Too low. Looks like it may try to test higher. Here's an LVN. Test into this 12 to, we got 14 and 13 volume. Liquidity's pulling. Looking for potential add. Have to be scaled by 10-ish. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Low volume node into the liquidity here. Not really stopping, so maybe it will take me out. But this guy is also firming up here. Another test of 14. LVN here. That's a pick of that swing for the record. We're finding some volume. Let's see if we fall out of this for a short. Okay, it got me. So what is happening here? Maybe a migration. That would be a nice short opportunity. Pick into this location. Mid and VWAP above. Here's some sellers. Liquidity firming up. Some volume here. I'd really like to see that migration, but I may not get it. Here's another test. Liquidity still firming up. Buyers stepped in here. Stops in here. Let's get that migration. That's the volume. So we're looking to enter on the edge of this volume here. Just feels like it's gonna fucking blow right past it. FT took a stab at a short. Maybe sometimes you just need a little push. Or maybe sometimes you should wait. There's the migration.
$170 buy stop.
I might have to... Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, if it breaks above this after seeing this, then I'm wrong. Then it's going to keep going. So why place the order there? Is this a potential reversal structure? We migrate down, but the market pushes right through it. Starting to feel like we're above these reference points. Yeah, I'm in.
$423 buy stop.
I don't really know exactly where to put that. We do have resting liquidity at 30. Migration higher again. Scaled again. I'm anticipating a fairly decent run. Here's another migration. I'm just following Yellow Brick Road. Starting to run into some more resistance here. So I may want to gather a little bit more information. If we retest. A lot of volume put in right here. I really love these setups down and up. Good alignment here. Looking for this area. Decent buying. Have to get back above this. We do not. Selling. Price over information, I would say. High confluence. May not work. Liquidity. Sellers absorb that. ES really is reminding me of a fixed income the way it trades. It's interesting. Not sure what that means. I think that this may take me out. Or it could price check and make me feel comfortable. We have FSV WAP, RTH VWAP, RTH mid all here. Overnight volume point of control above. Overnight stat above. This was too low and this was checked. Liquidity stepping in below. A lot of pieces to the puzzle here. Maybe a migration back down though. So I don't know. Come on, little buddy. Good with it. 0.75 ticks. Test back upwards. Liquidity still holding in here. VPOC back up. This area is becoming messy. So all I could do is hope that we move out of this area. Stop loss is in a ripe location. Let's take a look at the big picture here. A lot of stops above this. Have to break this. Tom says market imbalance at the moment. Patience. Yeah, I did get scaled on 3 positions though. So that's alright. We need to see this do the little blast off. IB here, so we're going to front rush the IB by 2 ticks and leave some for the sweeper. We also have the overnight stat. Capiche? Caution on this. Looks alright. We're not getting the continuation yet. At least my heart rate isn't jumping through the roof. If we get the gap fill after this to the downside, motherfucker, what would that be? This is the ledge here. This guy just said, I'm the best and the best person here. Come and fuck you in any market. It got deleted. What the fuck? People are wild. The guy's name is Lil Whack. Well, it might be a bumpy ride. I hope it's not. If we break 21, I think we're in business. IB o'clock. Buyers coming in above 21. Not too far away from my first target. Next area to break is the swing high. Then we have the VHVN at liquidity. We're back down here at the mean, which is not what we want to see after this break. We have this guy supporting the price. But this tells me that we may take an excursion lower. We are pretty close to the IB though. The probability of taking out the IB high, IB 60 high after taking out the IB 30 low is, I don't know. I'm not sure what that probability is. I don't think it's that high. Oh, I do know. It's 29%. In this context, though, maybe that 29% will get filled. Here's another test. Big sandwich here. This and this. But, we're above all this, which is pretty promising. If we get below here, though, then maybe no Gouda. Maybe no Gouda. We are filling in the profile higher. Are we? Barely. We barely put any more volume in here. There has to be a legitimate break. Testing, testing. Push above. Again. Putting in the slightest a bit more volume in here. Filling it in. This guy adds and pulls.
$309 by stop.
This guy gotta get out of the way. Really? That's not fun. This is not good for my anxiety. But if I want to fight for the extra point, and not have it two ticks lower, so 1.5, then I need to be able to sit through this for this stat. So is my stress better to risk for that extra 1.5, which is like, eventually maybe $75 or whatever. In reality, this is only 6.25 points for 3 targets. So, how much more could you cut off your risk? So we're leaving a little LVN behind here and starting to fill this area in. We want to see price hold above this 21 now. Support become resistance. Here come buyers for another attempt. They're getting up there. Okay. We're looking to add to our position.
386 by stop.
Okay, there's a test of overnight high. We've broken this location by quite a bit. 3 ticks on the overnight high. Here's the IB. 23.75. What happens here? Double tap of the high. Can't break, so maybe test lower. There's an LVN here. 24 to 25.5. Hard to swing. All right. Returns to the IB. We're looking to get long. But it looks like shorts are getting liquidated. People are going long. So we're front rushing all of this and the stock zone. So we should be able to catch a fill without too much trouble. $28 target. Same thing for Patrick. And then we have the stock zone for potential continuation. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Naked volume point of control. According to today's plan, there's 50. 50 would be crazy. That dude Patrick took half off at 30. Wow. Crazy life. Eddie's calling me. Hey Eddie.
Hey Nick, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm just exiting a very nice trade right now.
Okay, excellent. Do you?
Yeah.
Am I interrupting? Are you okay?
Is it alright if I call you at like 11:30?
I'm gonna call you because we have one stone that I think we should jump on
Okay.
and get it going. So I'm gonna call you at like 12:30 or so.
Yeah, that's better for me if that's all right with you.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna call you at 12:30, but I think we should pull the trigger on this stone and get it going and get them to start setting it and doing and putting it together. That's what I think.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'll call you at like 12:30, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And we'll finalize it together, okay?
Yep, sounds great.
All right, thanks, Nick.
Peace. Bye.
Bye.
I don't really know how to go about trailing this thing. $27.5. Wow. Well, the book stopped moving. If I was to set a trailing stop, I know people were targeting 28. 28's being supported. If 28 gets picked off, what's the likelihood that it reaches 27.5, like this dude Furs is putting his target? Probably pretty likely. There's his 27.5. Maybe I'm done for the day? Or we have IBC. '31 composite low volume node. I don't have that on my fucking chart. This is an area to operate. 23.75. Yep, 23.75. '31. On a test here, it becomes target and then liquidity target, I would say. Let's observe 23.75. Do we see divergence? We're below 23. Beyond that, if we don't hold the IB, there could be trouble. But if we break this area right here, it's a long. It's a long at like 24.25. One stop. Maybe it's not good enough. Gotta front rush this fucking guy. I don't want to risk 3 ticks too much. Is that ridiculous? That's still a whole point. If I was to put it right under, then so we're back here, so I'm assuming I'm gonna get fucking taken out. There's 2 ticks. There's 3. Tom said, I do want to emphasize that if you are trying to catch every rotation without metrics, that is not a plan for longevity. That is FOMO. So, yeah, we have probably up into here, this volume, I would say is pretty decent. But I mean, it looks like maybe it could begin to hold. We saw the pick, we saw the divergence. It just didn't get far enough. It looks like everything pulled. The market may have an opportunity to take here. And then, like I said, well, we have this 35 area. We also have 40. Here's a test. So this swing got to be broken here. Knocking on the door of the IB. Maybe we see some basing and then a push. Maybe it picks again. Maybe it falls back in, which does not seem as likely. Two-way balance, and despite the big draw, a couple of rejections, and given the way so far, I am neutral and trading balance. Is he talking about the ES? Yes, big range expansion higher. Would support around the 21 stock zone, but waiting / monitoring for PA / order flow confirmation. Well, if this is the area, then I am on board. Every trade is 50-50, right? We see some buyers coming back in, but we're at the top of this area, 24.75. It got to be pushed through. This guy is pressing down like a little cock. Maybe if the market's strong, though, it will push through him. This isn't all that convincing, though, to be honest. This right here is not that extremely convincing. Basing up here, giving it another go. Pressing into this 24.75. Pressing into 25. Pretty decent volume into that liquidity to absorb it. And we're looking for more volume here. Break of this swing. So, maybe. There it is. High volume node. I keep bringing this in. 24 high volume node. That I can't risk less than that. 2 points, looking for 6. It's in line. Then we have this naked volume point of control 35 area. Yeah. I don't have a good enough price map because my Edge Pro X is not helping me. Oh, fuck. Buyer. We're front rushing this liquidity at the high volume node. Our place is in the order book is alright. There's not too much to worry about. And please notice, myself, I almost got one ticked moving my stop loss in. I understand, need to be able to scale, and this is the area, and gotta front rush this. But do I do it at the do I just let go of potentially $15 on a scale to get risk neutral and still protect my stop loss? It's a really difficult subjective question. Where's the highest volume? I'm on top of it. I'm comfortable with that. Composite low volume node 31 tested. Need to clear to go higher. What does higher mean? Naked volume point of control. I might end up switching my target to this location. To 34. I don't know. Maybe. If I had a price map, I would probably, like, if I had a chart to look at, I would probably do that. That is the next sequential target. I gotta pee. Tom says 29-ish high volume node is resistance.
Wow, a sock. You brought me a whole sock. Thank you.
Okay, that trade is set, and nothing's gonna move on it.
$251 sell iceberg.
Wow, puppy stretch. Wow. Oh, big stretch. Big stretch. Wow. My love pup. I love you.
Whoa. Tom says, see the liquidity press? We got to LVN so far, 28-ish. Now to see if we can clear the edge. High volume node. Trade done. On to next. What the fuck?
337 buy iceberg.
You cock. Why you slip me?
I love you.
All right, well, I'm finished. Because I need to do my journaling. Let's see. My puppy. Oh, this puppy.
Oh, oh, oh.
IBF? Question mark? Mean reversion? Question mark? Whoa. Short? 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 I don't know. Ooh. That's cool.
Oh, oh, oh.
New all-time high on the account. That's nice. That's pleasant. Trade log. I really hate that I have to do this every time now. Bulk action. Split trade. Let's see this win rate. Ooh! Oh, interesting. I'm starting to keep up better. This was special. 4917. Long. Target. Target. Wow, I still have a lot of losers. Thank you for all the love, Poppy. This 0.25 is what's making me winner. As I become a more proficient trader, this will become less frequent. Pop!
Pop. Oh.
Another important note for my trading is that if I want to be short for mean reversion, or I guess outside edge trade, let's just say against structure in a retracement, if the market begins to balance or auction just before my entry, placing a limit above it probably will just give me a quick loss, because it's going to show that this area has been accepted, like in this scenario. Wanted to go short in here, but did not. I did catch the short. And it was like, looking good, Lewis.
Oh.
181 sell stop.
Okay, I guess it went up. No, wait, down. That looks like a blow off.
The best pop.
All right, well, I'm gonna relax and let the dogs out in the back. This is a good feeling. We could sit on it today. The idea of potentially becoming a break-even trader to slightly profitable is a pretty appealing thought. $23K cash for the Jeep, question mark? Too low. Yeah. Well, yeah, as the video shows, I was on the phone with Eddie. I've been working with him for a ring. Very exciting. And I'm going to be purchasing a really nice, right around 2-carat diamond ring. Oval shaped, really nice quality. With 2 small diamonds on one on each side. And then gold, 18-karat gold ring setting. And I'm going to have it by our Costa Rica trip. I'm going to propose on our Costa Rica trip. And yes, puppy, you heard me. You heard it right. So I need to set up a really nice romantic plan for doing it in Costa Rica. And then I probably want to check out Jaco. It's on the coast because we want to get married in Costa Rica too. So there's no better way than to get engaged and then go check out the area you want to get married in. And then me and Devin may start taking somewhat frequent trips to Costa Rica to go explore and figure out where we want to get married, which is so exciting that we're going to be including trips to Costa Rica into our lifestyle and bringing our family there. So, really excited about that. Yes, puppy. Anyway, that was a blow off. And this is now well supported. I think that this is probably turning into a long or a chop fest.
Oh my god, puppy.
Oh, yeah, text. The guy said, "What's the best you can do?" I would say 26.5. Let me talk to Devin. Well, this is actually a potential long, but the amount that you need to risk is somewhat great. IBC is a setup. Look at the structure. Is that a trade based on your plan you should take? Oh, is this an IBC setup or is it too late now? This is a long. But I'm finished trading, so yeah. I don't want to make money. But we gotta get scaled by here too, which is a little bit like, fuck, it is a trade. There's a push. I love you. I love you, puppy. Might have missed it. You could fill me, Mr. Market. I will accept it. Stop is under here. Is this fruitless? The only reason why I might say no is because if it does scale me, then I'm pretty well protected. Okay. You do what you do, and you do it. Is that a phrase? I guess I'm still trading. High volume node is here. If we break it, then it's the target. And it looks like this.
What? What? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it, puppy.
The reason why this is a trade is because we put volume in here. We blew off the IB, held beneath it, rotated, picked stops into VWAP and mid. Stops came out, price came back up, retest the structure, hold the low, auction, 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 break higher. This is the first sign that this is a long, potential long. Then buyers step in, holding above this, auction, 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 break higher, breaking above the IB now. Pull back to the IB, which then becomes a long. So we have the obstacle, and then Patrick is also targeting above 34. Doesn't mean much, but for me, it's naked volume point of control. It's resting liquidity. It's a sequential target. We expected some sort of resistance here at this swing because it is in line with an orderly auction. And now we have volume here and we have volume here. So we're looking for this to turn into a reversal to retest the high volume node, retest the composite location, and potentially break for higher. Maybe this is it. Ledge there, 27.5.
Whoa. Whoa.
Let's see if we get a buyer explosion. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to pause this and go relax. Holy shit. 2.5 fixed stop for the win? Huh. What the fuck? Wow. 2.5 fixed stop loss. Weak.
165 by iceberg.
Crazy life. Maybe it'll fall out, but it doesn't seem like it. This held. If this is too low, then maybe this is too low. Stops. Not a bad time to come back. Auctioning the edge. Strong volume push will get us there. Crazy life. Liquidity. Whoa. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it.
167 by stop.
Yeah. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. They're pulling. Crazy life. Stops above here. Wow. Okay, time for lunch. Just wanted to check.